Welcome to Yoga Biz Studio, a bi-weekly broadcast of 10 to 30 minutes in length, hosted by me, Keeley Mitchell, the owner of Z Living, and my colleague,
Carla Wilson, owner of Wilson Media Services.
On each episode, we share business, legal, and marketing insights for yoga studio owners and independent yoga teachers. We use Google Plus Hangouts on air to produce our show, so you can watch via Google, YouTube, or our website at yogabizstudio.com. If you're watching our show on YouTube or our website, please click on the yellow graphic at the bottom of the video viewer. This will allow you to access our event page to ask questions or comment on today's show. And as always, Carla and I welcome your comments. We welcome your questions. We love hearing from our viewers. Today's topic has to do with spring, which I'm laughing because in the southeastern part of Pennsylvania, we're expecting snow tomorrow. So, and after this winter, Carl and I are so ready for spring. And we were saying how spring starts tomorrow, but it's supposedly starting with a snowstorm. So we are trying to celebrate the springtime and bring it as soon as possible by discussing the 5 spring cleaning tips for your business. Spring cleaning is not just for your household, but it is for something all businesses should do. Spring is a reminder to start anew and get things in order. So if you're snowed in tomorrow, I guess you can be snowed in and start your spring cleaning, which is kind of an oxymoron with snow on the ground. So Carla, I am going to turn it over to you to get us started on our spring cleaning tips.
Excellent. Thanks, Keeley. Yes, this is the start. Spring is the start of my favorite time of year. Yeah, well, once we get past the snow, that is the start of my favorite time of year. Spring and summer are definitely my season, so I'm feeling, I'm feeling excitement for the coming warm weather once we get past the snow tomorrow, apparently. I really enjoy doing things outside and absorbing the sunshine, and, I really missed it the past few months. I'm really looking forward to some long, warm months because it's been a long winter, very long winter. And I love the feeling of renewal that spring brings. So I'm going to start off our 5 spring cleaning tips list for your business. And the first tip is reviewing your goals for 2015, for this first quarter. Gather your financials together and look at those numbers for the past 3 months. Did you meet your goals for signing new students, adding new programs or classes, maybe creating new workshops or programs? Were you on budget? Then take a look at your marketing plan. Did you keep up with the schedule that you created for your social media posts, for your newsletters, maybe even the changes to the websites, your website you wanted to make? If you weren't able to say yes to everything, in bold letters, I will say, that's okay. That's okay. That's why you're taking the time now to review and then make any adjustments you need to make. So that's our first tip, is take a look at this first quarter, both financially, your marketing goals, and just, take an assessment of where you are and then make adjustments.
Carla, that is such great advice. This is definitely the perfect time to assess how your year is progressing thus far and seeing what tweaks and adjustments you need to make. For tip number 2, I would like to go down memory lane, 2014's memory lane to be exact. When we welcome in spring, we also are welcoming in tax season. I know. If you have not already done so, gather all your business receipts from 2014 and start organizing them for your taxes. If you are like me, you've thrown them into a shoebox as the year went along, and now it's time to pull them out and make sense of them. It's easier to gather everything together when you're not under the April 15th deadline pressure. And remember, this year, April 15th is on a Wednesday. So we don't get any extra days for filing. I know in previous years, holidays have hit It's landed on like a Saturday, so we got a few extra days, and that way we were able to file on the 17th or the 18th. Not this year. 15th, we got to get it in. So get organized now, and trust me, your accountant will thank you.
Yes, absolutely, Keeley. You're absolutely right about your accountant thanking you if you get everything organized. I'll pat myself on the back a little bit. I actually submitted everything to my accountant before the end of 2014 because I had planned ahead. You know, I had taken time. I'd organized everything together. Now, I was also motivated because I needed to get numbers together for my son's college financial aid, so that was another motivating factor. But believe me, I have felt a huge sense of relief because I was able to turn that paperwork in early. So I'm going to move on to tip number 3, and I'm going to call this the clouds of spring. and by cloud, I mean cloud storage. So while you're gathering together all of those receipts and your tax documentation, why not scan them into PDF format and store them in your Google Drive or maybe Evernote or Dropbox? These are 3 of my favorite cloud storage options. And why not gather everything you might have organized for the first quarter of 2015, since we suggested you do that in tip number 1, and then get started for next tax year's season. You take this time to get organized. So now that I can speak from experience, it does take off a lot of pressure if you're gathering the documents a little bit of it at a time. And in this case, you're gathering the documents together a quarter at a time. They're much easier to file and move around once the items are digitized or electronic.
Love that idea, Carla. Great idea. So instead of throwing it in a shoebox, I'll just start moving it to the cloud.
There you go.
I want to get one of those neat scanners. I've seen it. Like you scan everything and it organizes it into your computer. I keep saying I'm going to get one. All right, so yes, getting organized for next tax season, or just getting organized in general by dumping key receipts and documentation into the cloud. Wonderful idea. So once you're in the digital cloud, why not check to see if your online presence could use some sprucing up too. Often during the winter months, we let ourselves go and we gain a few extra pounds. And similarly, we may let our online presence go as well, you know, such as Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, and other mediums that we use. You know, like when's the last time you made a post? I know I sometimes get a little bit lazy and realize, oh, a few days have gone by and I haven't posted. So, you know, or is your website update? You know, do you have old promotions that you were doing that you haven't taken down? You know, have you updated your blog on your website? You know, start doing all of these things. So your spring cleaning tip number 4 is time to spring clean and give your image and brand some freshening up. As the rest of the world comes out of its winter slumber, you don't want them sleeping on your business because your social media and online presence is still in a coma. So we definitely want to wake it up, you know, make sure everything's current, get what you're doing for the spring up there, you know, hopefully if you can do a calendar or an events page so people know what's coming up for the spring and summer, and get some new promotions, because if people keep seeing the same promotions, they become numb to it. So get some new promotions out there on your Facebook and Twitter and on your website.
Excellent advice, Keeley. You know, sometimes we don't always think to take a regular view of our social profiles. You know, look at your bios on every network. Are they consistent? In fact, if you moved like I did in the last 6 months, make sure that your location is correct on your bio. And if you've added any special classes or workshops, maybe that's something you want to add into your descriptions as well. So let's do a quick review. So far we've covered 4 of the 5 spring cleaning tips, and they are: number 1, review your goals for the first quarter; number 2, organize and prep your receipts and documents for your tax preparer; number 3, scan and store documents in the cloud; and number 4, review and refresh your social media profiles. So this brings us to our last spring cleaning tip: spring cleaning. Schedule time now to clean your studio every single nook and cranny, get rid of dust bunnies, clean the cubbies from top to bottom, refold the blankets, clean the blocks, clean the straps, maybe hang some new artwork. I'm a strong believer in the movement of energy, so when you clean, you allow more energy to move around, and bringing more good energy to you. What else should we suggest, Keeley?
Well, I'm actually going to piggyback off of you, Carla, and offer a bonus tip. Don't forget to spring clean on yourself, too. You know, we must remember to take time and refresh ourselves so that we can better serve our clients and be a resource for them on their journey. So take time to meditate, or better yet, get outside now that it's warmer, and meditate out there. I love getting in touch with nature and just sitting somewhere in the sunlight, and meditating. Of course, in southeastern Pennsylvania after the snow. We're not recommending you to meditate in the snow, but hey, skiers out there might do it. Clean out the clutter in your mind, so that you're better able to focus on what truly matters to you. Take time to nurture your practice and grow as a yogi. You know, maybe slip away for a weekend retreat somewhere so that you can lose the winter blues and come back refreshed and ready to enjoy the spring and summer months. Spring cleaning is not only a physical cleaning, but it can be also a very mental and spiritual journey as well.
Exactly. So there you have it. Our 5 spring cleaning tips plus the bonus tip for your yoga business. We want to invite you to join us on our next episode, which will be on Thursday, April 9th at 10 a.m. We'll discuss your business website. There are some important changes happening that Google is making later in the month of April, and we want to make sure that you are prepared. So we want to ask you right now, is your website mobile friendly? And why is that important? So I'll get into more detail and some of these changes that Google's making in late April and how that might affect your search engine results. In the meantime, please feel free to message us with your questions or show ideas. You can email us at yogabizstudio@gmail.com or reach out to us on the social networks of Facebook, Twitter, and G+ at Yoga Biz Studio, or you could always go to our website and sign up for our newsletter. Our website address is yogabizstudio.com.
Thanks, Carla. And thank you, all of our audience, for joining us today. Our Yoga Biz Studio is brought to you weekly by me, Keeley Mitchell of Z Living, and Carla Wilson of Wilson Media Services. Until our next episode, namaste and happy spring.
Namaste, everyone.